Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, Angel Says Art. This is my series, Coffee and Paint, where I drink coffee and I paint something while also having meaningful art conversation. So this video is going to be about small steps that you can take to start an art business. And actually the idea came from a question that I got from a follower on TikTok. And I decided, instead of just answering on TikTok, why don't I add this to one of my videos? And also, as you can tell from the title, this is actually my very first time using gouache paint. And by the way, I really like gouache paint. So stick around. Good conversation and some painting. All right. See you on the other side. I first want to acknowledge that someone left me a message on one of my videos on TikTok, and they had a question, and the question was, what do you do if your friends and your family are not supportive of what you're trying to do with your art? And to that, I want to say, well, I'm sorry that people are not supporting you. But I want to say I'm here and I'm supportive, and I support everyone who wants to realize their dreams of being an artist. And I want to say it sounds easy, but keep going. That's my advice. Don't take it personal. Don't take it to heart. Instead, take that energy and turn it into something that you can use, and never give up on your dreams and goals. So the reference photos that you saw are actually my neighbor's house across the street. And there was one day I was coming home and I saw just a rainbow above their house, and I pulled out my phone and I snapped that photograph. And I said to myself, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna paint this with gouache, because I had been wanting to sit down and do gouache for a while. So you never know when inspiration is gonna strike. All right, down to the nitty-gritty. How to start an art business. Keep in mind, I am no professional, okay? I am just starting my own art business. I think I've gotten a lot done in the course of a year, so I feel like I could let people know. The thing that I'm going to say is probably going to shock every one of you, and it's not what people think, actually. Getting started, in my opinion, start with social media. In the beginning, I went crazy and I thought I needed to be present in all these different areas. And I will admit, I paid the money to get my own website in the beginning, and it was a huge mistake. And the reason is yes, it's cool to have a website, but I didn't create mine from the ground up, so mine was not free. I had to pay a subscription to Wix for like the year. And it was like $200. And, you know, when you do the math, I guess it's not that bad, but it was money that I was spending without having an income coming in from my art business, right? So you want your overhead, the money that you're putting out into your art business, to be as low as it can possibly be. And so if I could go back and do that again, I would not have paid out for a website, because I wasn't well known, and so there was really no reason for that. Invest your time, energy into social media. So let's talk about social media. Before you even begin, you're going to want to ask yourself, which platform are you going to invest time in? My order has been TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm going to tell you right now, Instagram is a very hard algorithm to crack. It's not very friendly to artists. I don't know why. If you put the time in, you can kind of curate an account for yourself, and that account will, reach other artists, but it takes so much time. I reached 1,000 followers in no time on TikTok. And I love YouTube. Because I like film, I like creating things, I like showing what I'm doing, and so YouTube was perfect for me. And if you don't want to make YouTube videos, guess what? You don't have to. You can make yourself an art account, and you can use YouTube for the YouTube Shorts portion, which is kind of like YouTube's Instagram reel. You know, it's like they're like little reels that you can do, and they're little shorts, and I would say definitely do that. And what I've noticed in the past 6 months is I have gained way more followers for my art channel through shorts than I ever did through my full-length videos. Once you've decided which platforms you're going to be going with, I would then start gathering resources. So that means, because this could be in your house, this could be in your garden. It doesn't have to be special, but you should be gathering things from your environment to create a way to photograph yourself. I did mine, in my art studio, and I have my arms crossed and I'm holding my paintbrushes, but it looks way more professional, and people would like to connect with the artist. And so when they look at your accounts, if they can see your face, I think that's really draws people in more. However, if you're really against putting your face out there for people to see, and I understand some people do feel that way, then make sure that you are taking really good photographs of a couple of pieces of your work that you're really proud of, and make sure that the pictures, have great lighting and that they look professional, and that you use that as your profile picture on your social media platforms. And when you do your bios, I see a lot of people go, I do painting and stuff, like in their bios. If this is gonna be an art business, you're going to have to find a short but sweet way of sounding professional and letting people know what it is that you do. Basically, treat your social media platforms like they are your art portfolio. You're showing somebody your art portfolio. That's how you should curate all of your social media accounts. The next major thing is dedicating time to being present on your social media platforms is absolutely vital to growing your brand. You can go into your settings and you can set times for yourself. They're kind of like timers that go off, and your phone will tell you, this is how long you've been on TikTok. Now, I've done that for myself to ensure that I am not just vegging out on these things, because you have to not only be present on social media, but you also need to be an artist, and you also need to be creating, and there are other things that you have to do. And I know it sounds rigid, but trust me, you're going to want to give yourself time frames. And so for me, I try to get on every day, and I try to be on each of my platforms a little bit in the morning when I'm like drinking my coffee. Every other day, I try to create a new post or reel on Instagram, and then I'm always working on my YouTube. I also get on my social medias in the evenings. And the other stuff that I highly suggest you be working on while you are working on your social media presence, a body of work. I know, I feel like I get tired of hearing that, but it's because I feel like as an artist, I didn't have too many examples of what that actually meant. People say it, but they don't tell you what it means. Basically, what it means is that whatever medium you work in, create at least 10 pieces that if you laid them out, they look like they could be in a show together. They have some kind of consistency or color scheme or subject matter or all of the above. And they look like they go together. But then when you separate them, they could also be individual pieces, and they should be your best work. That is a cohesive body of work. If you want to be an artist full time, start here. As far as gouache goes, I love it. I do feel like it's a cross between acrylic paint and watercolor. And I actually really do not like watercolor, but I love, obviously, acrylic painting because that's what I do. And I find that this is kind of a cross between those two, and I am in love. And I probably will be doing the majority of this series, Coffee and Paint, in gouache. So there you go. If you've been curious about it, I say give it a go. I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time, but if you made it to the end, thank you. And I hope that these tips really help you. And if they do, let me know. Leave me comments on this video. Follow my socials. Check out my Instagram. All of my socials are at Angel Says Art. Let me know. Talk to me there. Let me know if these things are working for you. And if you have an interest in other videos like this, let me know. All right. See you on the other side. Peace.